Hercules is brave, courageous, strong, loyal, emotional, and most importantly, flawed. And we should be just like him. But one does not simply become like Hercules. First thing you gotta do is be born a god, kidnapped as a baby, turn mostly mortal, almost killed, find your way, sacrifice yourself for the one you love, and return to Olympus and live happily ever. No, wait, no. Return to Earth mortal so that you and your new love can spend one lifetime together, then die. But hey, I mean, what's so hard about that?
Bruh.
It is possible though to grow like him, and I don't mean like
Continue to grow. That's more like.
I mean like in character, because we all have character, whether good or bad. Well, I mean, except for Ray, but whatever. As a mirror reflects your face, so your heart reflects you, and that's your character. Not who people perceive you to be, but who you are actually. Haven't you ever wondered what life would be like if you were the most disciplined, most creative, most self-controlled, strongest, kindest, healthiest version of you that you could be? I know you have. Everyone has. There's actually a question that the narrator asks in the first 10 seconds of the film before he's joyfully interrupted by the muses. And that question is, what is the measure of a true hero? And to add to that, once we find that measure, can we in real life become heroes too? Well, by the time we finish this video, you'll see how a character like Hercules can be an example of how we can grow to become heroes too. This says, also stay tuned after this video to get a quick life update to explain why I haven't put out a video in the last like 80 years or whatever. So, Hercules was born into a world that was saved by his father Zeus from Titan. He was befriended Pegasus as a gift at a way early age. It's not something that I would personally do. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility given a baby the responsibility to take care of a horse-bird hybrid. I mean, how is a baby supposed to take care of Pegasus-sized poops? It can't, okay? It can't. Oh, Sam's calling me, hold on. I saw it. Dude, I'm recording a YouTube video. Yeah, dude. Yeah, oh yeah, it's pretty hot stuff right now, you know? Back to the recording. Also, I still crack up when I see Zeus without a beard. He's like a little thumb. Dude, it's so funny.
Sorry about that. I got a little bit distracted. Now back to Hercules.
He's kidnapped by Hades' little minions, Pain and Panic, and they try to kill him so that Hades can do his world takeover without any hiccup. But their plans get stopped when they're found by Amphitryon and, it says Alcmene? And they stumble upon him and they adopt him as their own. His father Zeus sends out a search party, but by the time they find him, he was already mortal minus his strength and was unable to come back to Olympus. Hercules would get stronger by the day, and by the time he's a teenager would showcase some pretty incredible feats of strength. So much so that when his family's out doing errands, his father tells him to just stay by the cart this time. But Hercules, wanting to help others, ran to the aid of someone who he thought needed help, despite his father's orders. He wants friends, but those desires are quenched when even his peers don't want anything to do with him because of his strength.
Sorry, Herc. We already got 5, and we want to keep it an even number.
Hey, wait a second.
Now, you could be thinking,
Suffering from being too strong? Isn't that the problem with Ray? Is that she's too strong?
and the answer is, no. Hercules is already strong and people know it. In fact, the eventual story arc is not that he was strong all along, which is a story arc for Ray, but it's that even if you are the strongest, toughest, most winningest person out there, that is still not what determines you to be a true hero. Like, name me one bad thing that happened because Ray was too strong. Leave it in the comments. Then there's an opportunity to show himself worthy of friends, and then he's normal. And he takes that opportunity and just keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake, which in turn caused him embarrassment, exile, and tons of money and damages. All because he wanted friends so much that he was willing to be disobedient to his father to obtain them. His dad tries to stick up for him and tells people that he just can't control his strength. But the real problem, or a flaw, is that he was willing to disregard his dad's orders just so that he can find identity. Now I know what you're saying.
But Pa, isn't that like Captain Marvel? Is that the plot of the movie that she needed to control his strength? Why do you like this but not Captain Marvel?
And the answer is no, it's not the same. In Captain Marvel, the eventual storyline is that she was strong all along and she didn't need no man telling her what to do, where this eventual storyline is...
Even if you are the strongest, toughest, most winningest person out there, that is still not what determines you to be a true hero.
Hercules really begins to struggle with his identity. He has this call in his heart to do good, but only seems to do bad. So, who is he? See, because everyone else in the story has some sort of status. Because status is given through community. His dad has the respect of the town in that the people don't just kill Hercules when they get the chance. His actual father earned status through his bout with the Titans, but Hercules doesn't even have friends or community to give him that status. To be clear, this isn't a flaw like the disobedience thing. This is a consequence of his character. See, because he actually has the character quality of service, which is good. When he tries to help, he only ends up hurting people. So now he doesn't know who he is, because it's like he's getting punished for doing something that he feels is helpful to others. So his nobility is seen as bad. To be clear, again, they don't like Hercules not because he's strong, but because his strength has only been a burden to them. Then we get one of the best songs ever. Yeah, this is mega copyrighted, so I'm just gonna sing it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, it's a great song. I'm being silly. Sorry. But yeah, but you won't catch me playing that song on here. Not since I've been copyrighted by Disney like 2 or 3 times now. So through this whole interaction, you get to see a lot of his character. You see that he wants to be around people who see his nobility as good. You see at first that he wants to feel like he belongs, but then he wants to find where he belongs. Because emotions are not what determines identity. You see that he's hopeful that he'll be wherever he needs to be if he can be strong. But you're like, dude, of course he's strong. Like, did you not see the last 5 minutes? But he's not talking about strength of body, but of heart. You see his patience and sacrifice, that every mile traveled would be worth it. And his parents share with him that he's adopted. You see his sacrifice and that he's willing to leave the greatest parents ever so he can find the answer in his heart. And his parents support him through all of it. Then he's off, trudging through the hills and rain of Greece. The trials only encourage him to keep moving forward until he gets to Zeus. He humbles himself in prayer, asking who he is. And the statue comes to life and tries to kill him! But not really. Hercules finds out that he's a god. This is great news. But Hercules, still so hurt by his identity, he asks why they left him on Earth.
Didn't you want me?
So Hercules, being face to face with his father Zeus, is so hurt by his identity that he now questions the very one who gave it to him. He's told that he was stolen and turned mortal, and can come back to Olympus if he can prove himself to be a true hero. Hercules, of course, not deterred by anything, accepts this challenge and is pointed to Philoctetes, the trainer of heroes, to train him. He's given Pegasus again as a gift, and he remembers him.
Pegasus!
Disney. I'll believe a lot of things, okay? I'll believe that a man can tear down a tree with his bare hands.
I'll be strong.
Okay? I'll believe that a horse even has wings to begin with. Okay, I'll believe that a man can hold a lightning bolt.
He hurls his thunderbolt.
Okay, but if you expect me to believe that that man recognizes that horse from when he was that young, I can't. You can't. I'm not, guys. I'm not gonna do it. You can't make me do this. Okay, I'm not gonna believe it. I'm not gonna believe it. There's no shot. There's no shot. Then he's off, and he leaves determined. He will beat the odds. He will go the distance. He will face the world that once shamed him. And he will face it with fearlessness, pride, and strength. Things that were crippling to him before, he now recognizes as strength. He will please the gods and will finally find the welcome right where he belongs. Also, as a quick side note, musically, the composer adds some tension here to remind you that it's just the beginning of the journey, which is something I think is a kind of a small thing, but I think it really adds to the story. He gets to the island of Philoctetes and actually goes through his first trial. He, for a second, is captivated by the nymphs. But as soon as he sees that a goat is stuck, he, of course, tries to help. This, of course, backfires because instead of the goat being grateful, he's mad because he was trying to spy on the nymphs, and Herc prevented him from spying on the nymphs. Nice. Then we meet Phil. You know, I'll never understand why Kingdom Hearts did my boy Phil like that. I mean, rip in peace, Phil. Rip in peace. After we see some sweet thickness. And after a little bit of persuasion from Herc and Zeus, Phil finally decides to train Hercules. Also, as a side note, Phil also has his own hero's journey, which is partly what makes him so likable. So that's like a whole other video. One training montage later, we get a fully trained, fully strong, and ready Hercules. Let it be known that Hercules was not naturally good at any of the things that he tried. But after hard work and consistency, he was able to grow and overcome the trials and tasks that Phil had for him. I mean, the whole song is about training the heart rather than the muscles, because the heart will beat out natural ability any day. So after the training, Herc begs for a road test, and Phil decides to take Herc to Thebes. Check out part 2 for the rest of the breakdown.
The Lord is sowing my heart into yours. My love, oh my love, aerial reflection of our God in the
And the crowds will cheer when it's in my face. And the voice keeps saying, this is where I'm meant to be.